time for Dax breaking out a new song today, actually fusing together with Oliver Anthony, you know, the super famous song, Richmond, North of Richmond. Well, Dax, he's created a remix to this, and you know our mission, spread mental health awareness to the world through music and lyrics. And what better artist to do that with than Dax? I can't imagine his remix having anything but mental health in it. It's going to be crazy. Let's do it without further ado. It's time. Dax doing Richmond, North of Richmond, the remix. Ooh, let's remember that. United we stand, divided we fall.
What the world's gotten to for people like me, people like
Man, like he sped it up just a tad, a little poppier with that sound to do this remix. When Dax has his game face on, you know something about to happen. Like something about to happen. This is therapy. Let's do it.
what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up
Yep.
and it not be true,
But it is.
Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul.
Yep.
The Richmond, North of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
This world has changed and I had to accept it.
Yep.
They ask my political views while I search for their hidden agendas.
Ah.
I don't got an answer, I try to remember the devil divides. Pressure appears from our peers. Those arguments waste.
Can you remember that, please? He does such a good job of saying this. Number one, they ask your political views. It's always a trap, right? Anybody who asks your political views, because there are alternate agendas going on. And remember, the devil divides. Whether you believe in the devil or not, let's just say the dark side divides. There is an evil force out there waiting to divide us. And the best thing that can happen for that dark force, that devil, is to divide us. Because if we are divided, we will do the devil's work. We will tear our society apart. Devil sits back and watches. Honestly, the more together we are, and I've said this about addiction, remember this about addiction. The healthier you are, the more it starves an addiction. The more unhealthy and toxic you are, the more it feeds the addiction. It's stronger. So you want to starve the addiction, and that's what drowns it out. He's just saying, remember, dividing is the conquering to the dismantlement of our society. I'm telling you.
They ask my political views while I search for their hidden agendas. I don't got an answer, I try to remember the devil divides.
Yep.
Pressure appears from our peers. Those arguments waste our time while helping to push their lies. So fuck political views. I got common sense. I know God made man. And the sun sets on a life where we focus on things that we cannot control and accumulate so much regret. By the time we decide to live, we're practically already dead. So I go to sleep with the thoughts of 45 years living in debt.
Please, Dax. By the time we decide to live, we're already dead. Like, we spend so much of our lives making it hard to just live healthily. The best way to learn is through other people's mistakes. Remember that you can take experiences you've been through, other people have been through also, and realize decisions that you can make. They may not be easy. It's kind of like eating healthy, right? It's harder to eat healthy because you have to be very careful with what you choose, but it's better in the long run. And he's just saying, let's do this now.
We're practically already dead, so I go to sleep with the thoughts of 45 years living in debt. 45 years can't pay rent. 45 years just for a pension. I'm too old to enjoy and go spend. 45 years working and slaving for rich men with no time for my family and friends. Then I wake up and pray that it ends.
Woo! Yeah!
With an whole soul.
Yep, there he is.
The Richmond, North of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Descendants of Adam and Eve, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They're taking God out.
I love how he brings in his faith. Descendants of Adam and Eve, first two people ever. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, which means we're just like them. And he's got the apple of, Adam and Eve eating the forbidden fruit, right? In the beginning. We had a perfect world in the beginning. And then they went and ate from the tree of wisdom, insight, open your eyes. Satan did a great job of tempting there. And when that happens, it changes the world forever. And I think what he's doing is he's lining up here Apple don't fall far from the tree. We're just like them. We fall short. We mess up. We make mistakes. But we have to be able to learn from them and make different choices down the road. We can't let other people decide our choices for us. I so firmly believe that we can't let people decide things for us.
Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Descendants of Adam and Eve. The
Yep.
apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yep.
They're taking God out the schools. Our kids don't know what to believe. From
Yep.
6 to 18, the curriculum fails, and Gen Z gets taught by their phones with forced feeds that get sponsored and paid by companies. That's how they attack us. It starts with the youth. If you lie enough, you'll convince anybody the lie's the truth. So telling these kids they can choose their own gender at ages they can't even tie their own shoes. Drive or drink is crazy. Common sense isn't common unless it pays me. That's the thought process daily. Look at the content. We're creating lies, diluting our brains. I'm done trying to argue on lies with these people who think that a vote's gonna bring about change. How many presidents does it take to have a life worth living?
Remember this. There is so much truth in what he's saying. People can argue with me all day long, especially younger people in the Gen Z generation category. One thing I know is children, brain development, and understanding that cognitively, just rationally, cognitively, we know this about the brain now. It can't process complicated things until easily into the teenage years, especially into adolescence, not even. So to be able to take a concept of a life choice as a child, impossible. Even for teenagers, it's very difficult. So abstract thought isn't there for young children. It's just a basic fact. We can try to... I drove a car out my grandma's driveway one time and didn't drive it. I'd got in it and shifted it into neutral and it backed out of the driveway. I was sitting in the middle of the street. My parents came and found me one day because I thought it was cool to drive a car. It doesn't mean I can drive a car just because I can get in and grab the steering wheel. You have to know that just because children can have an opinion doesn't mean that opinion is based on wisdom all the way into the future. And we just need to get back to basics with things. I love all of this stuff he's saying about claiming back some values in our life.
We're creating lies, diluting our brains.
Not to mention, last time, I'm not going to pause this again. Not to mention, so many times in our world, when people see something on a screen, it becomes fact. When it's not fact, we gotta quit worrying about sound bites, shorts, and videos that we automatically take as fact without researching what they are.
At ages they can't even tie their own shoes. Drive or drink is crazy. Common sense isn't common unless it pays me. That's the thought process daily. Look at the content. We're creating lies, diluting our brains. I'm done trying to argue online with these people who think that a vote's gonna bring about change. How many presidents does it take to have a life worth living? An actual comfortable wage. No more school shootings. Let's unite these states.
It's a damn shame.
Woo!
What the world's gotten to.
Ah, so cool.
People like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world
So good.
with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Well done, Dax. You did it. Made the perfect mix to a song that's already touched the hearts of so many people and struck a chord with so many people about wanting change in this world, in this country, honestly, is what we're talking about. He's talking about the world. We could do this in the world. But Dax is saying it's time to wake up. It's time to recognize, especially I say this to parents. Parents have got to recognize what raising children is. Dads, because I'm a dad, have got to recognize what being present in their children's lives means. And please don't sacrifice your own choice, your own independence, and your own values for what somebody else tells you. That doesn't ever work. But remember, it's not real therapy. It's just Tom breaking down lyrics. If you want help, check the links in the description. Give us your comments. Let me know what you think. Dax has been on our podcast. Great guy and a great artist at what he does in the music industry. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.